What's up YouTube? Nate, the old school otaku here, and I picked up a bunch of Blu-rays and stuff while I was on hiatus over the last couple of months. So if you want to see part 2 of my pickups from the last few months, stay tuned! And welcome back. So, to continue on with part 2 of my anime pickups over the last couple of months while I was on hiatus, I guess we're going to get down into the nitty-gritty of the Blu-ray releases that I picked up. Primarily everything I'm going to go over today is, for the most part, going to be Blu-ray. And I have picked up a pretty good amount of Blu-ray over the last couple of months. And yeah, I want to go over each of these titles that I've picked up with you guys. And you know, I've had the chance to take advantage of a number of sales from rightstuff.com, as well as visit quite a few different stores or whatnot over the last little bit, and in the process was able to pick up quite a few Blu-ray titles and a bunch of other stuff too. So without further ado, I guess we should definitely go ahead and get started. Though if this is the first video of mine that you're tuning into and are wondering what I'm talking about part 2, part 1, I encourage you to go ahead and hit this button right here in order to head on over to part 1, where I talk about all of the laser discs that I picked up over the last couple of months, and there are quite a few of those there, so give you a second to click that. But if not, and you want to continue on here, no biggie, because the first one I want to talk about is a timeless classic, actually, as far as anime is concerned, and it was definitely interesting when I found out that they decided to finally bring this to Blu-ray, and by they I mean Discotek, because oh, Discotek, you guys are beautiful with the stuff that you're doing, all of this old anime and whatnot that you're pulling out. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about Kenji Miyazawa's Night on the Galactic Railroad. Now, what is Night on the Galactic Railroad? Well, it's a Japanese children's book, actually. That in this version it's been brought to life in a beautiful animated feature film. The main characters are depicted as cats. So that is one thing to note about this. So they are depicted as cats, and I don't honestly know a whole lot about this because I have never had a chance to see Night on the Galactic Railroad. Until now that I own it, and as you can see from the shininess of the cover, this is one Blu-ray I have yet to actually open and watch, but I am looking forward to actually sitting down and watching this when I am able to. So, you know, some of the information on the back here: a final trip through a sea of stars. Anime News Network says one of the most deeply moving and compelling stories ever put to animation. So to kind of read a bit of the cover information on here, what is true happiness? For Giovanni, the answer is as far away as the stars. Mired in hardship, the young kitten faces problems that should be unknown to someone his age. At school, his classmates mock and ridicule him, and after the bell rings, Giovanni toils at a job to earn money enough for bread. Then at home, instead of being taken care of by his mother, he must take care of her. The sole bright spot is that of the Festival of Stars, where he hopes to run into Campanella, his only friend. When they finally meet up, however, it isn't while looking up at the stars, but rather traveling amongst them, as the Galactic Railroad whisks the two away for parts unknown. A little bit more information back here about the piece. Night on the Galactic Railroad is adapted from the novel written by famous Japanese children's author Kenji Miyazawa. Born in 1896, Miyazawa grew up during a tumultuous time in Japan's history, and his humanist sensibilities feature most prominently in this work. While the movie features delightful cat characters, the symbolism and deeper meaning of the film can touch the young and old alike. This story is one that every child in Japan experiences in school, and now you can too. So yeah, that's really what's kind of cool about this. This is something that the Japanese kids read and learn about and whatnot. And now we get to actually experience it. Like I said, Discotheque Media recently brought this out within the last couple of months, and it's a 107-minute movie. You can get it on Blu-ray. I think there might even be a DVD edition. Go to Right Stuff and you can pick it up. You might even see it in the store somewhere. In fact, I think I picked this one up from an FYE during one of my trips up to Great Lakes Crossing. And the format in here, you've got Japanese DTS HD Master Audio 2.0, 5.1. You've also got an English DTS Master Audio 2.0 track. You've got commentary in Dolby Digital 2.0, and then you got subtitles in English and signs and songs. So there you go. Remastered in 1080p. Really cool to pick this up, and I can't wait to actually sit down and watch it. Okay, moving right along. The next one up on my list is it's an interesting piece. It's not old. This is actually very new. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Ghost in the Shell, the new movie. This is a new movie that recently came out. In fact, I saw it in theaters back in, I think, February. And it's its own new story that seems to be based off of the Ghost in the Shell Arise set of OVAs. And looks like it's a brand new starting point to the series, to everything. Like, as far as I can tell, this story actually leads right up to the story of the original Ghost in the Shell. So this one's called Ghost in the Shell, and it's Ghost in the Shell, the new movie. It's brought out by Kodansha and Funimation. You can, this version here, it's Blu-ray, DVD, and ultraviolet. So that's definitely cool. I haven't opened it yet, and I forgot that it had an ultraviolet version to it. So I'm definitely going to have to open this up and definitely get my ultraviolet on, so I can watch it pretty much anywhere through Vudu and any of the other online movie formats that I have. So yeah, like I said, it's on. You've got Blu-ray, you got DVD. Let's see, how long was this movie? Usually it tells you. There it is. It's a 100-minute movie. It is rated TVMA. It didn't even get a proper R or anything rating, but there is quite a bit of violence. I think maybe a little bit of nudity in its cursing or whatnot. This version, you get Japanese and English 5.1 surround, as well as English subtitles if you so desire. So that's definitely cool. It'd be interesting to watch this in non-dubbed format, because if I remember right, the version I saw was dubbed and not subbed. But that's definitely cool. Ghost in the Shell, the new movie, very recent movie that came out. It's definitely cool, and it's nice to see the movie storyline, or at least a storyline that kind of closely resembles the movie and isn't what's called a Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. It's nice to see more of this coming out. So definitely awesome. Cool to pick that up. Okay, next one is this is a disc I've been waiting for quite some time. Those of you who have been following my channel might remember that around this time last year, I came out with a review of a certain Lupin movie / OVA, Lupin III, Jigen's Gravestone. Discotheque Media picked up the rights for this. In fact, they even did an English dub. Typically Discotheque just purchases the show and releases it subtitled, and they actually decided to make a full dub of this, so that was definitely interesting. I don't think I've actually listened to the dub version. I don't believe the dub version was streaming, or if it was, I don't remember it. But either way, though, this was a really cool movie, and if you want to find out more about this, I encourage you to take a crack at the review that I did of it. I go into much more in depth about this, but this is definitely a really nice Lupin film. For you kids, you probably want to stay away from this. Lupin is definitely an anime for adults. There's a lot of violence, there's a lot of gore, there is no sex in it, but there's a lot of nudity and, connotations of potential rape and other things going on in here. So this is not for the lighthearted. And, there's not a whole lot of information on it, but like on the back it says, "Here lies Daisuke Jigen with a .357 Magnum. Died April 1st of April 19 something. Rest in peace." And kind of the thing is Jigen has someone set crosshairs on him, and apparently it's this one guy who basically makes a gravestone for his intended target before he kills his intended target. So yeah, that's kind of what this is about. Definitely a really cool, awesome show, and you want to find out more about it, go take a look at the thing. But I recommend it. It's really cool, awesome. It's now out on Blu-ray, so you can definitely pick it up and own it. So yeah, there you go. All right. Next up on the list is a show that I seem to remember had been released, but I entirely forgot about it. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Time Bokan Royal Revival. For those of you who played Tatsunoko versus Capcom, or Capcom versus Tatsunoko on the Wii, you might recognize some of the characters from this. So this is a... what best to describe this? This show is basically like a Wacky Racers. For those of you who know like old school cartoons or whatnot, it's basically a Wacky Racers, but with Tatsunoko characters. So it's chaos reigns, robot parts reign, and villains are in pain in the wackiest race in the history of anime. But are you fan enough to beat them to the punchline? That's really all I can say about it. I've never actually seen Time Bokan, but there's a lot of old school characters. You got Kashan. It looks like Tekkaman Blade. You've got the main character from Gatchaman or G-Force or Battle of the Planets. I think Battle of the Planets was one of the names it had. So you've got a lot of characters from a bunch of different Tatsunoko anime franchises all together into the thing, and it's kind of the way to describe it. It's basically Wacky Racers, but anime with Tatsunoko characters. So yeah, this was a really cool find. I actually found this for $8 at our local Fry's. And when I say our local Fry's, I mean the Fry's down in Indianapolis. I picked this up when I was visiting my sister down there when she graduated dental school. So definitely awesome to get that. Okay, moving right along. The next show up on the list is not an old school show, actually. It's something a lot more recent. I'm not going to say it's new, like the Ghost in the Shell was, but it's definitely a lot more recent. And what I am talking about, well, I am talking about Kanon. It's hard to pronounce this because it's Canaan. It's spelt like Canaan, the the land of milk and honey. From the Bible, but Canaan. The characters pronounce the character's name Kanan in it, but it could just be Japanese going on. But this is a 13 episode TV show from back in 2010, or at least the Sentai Filmworks version of this is 2010. It may be 2009 when this came out. I saw most of this with my anime club as part of college or whatnot, and it's definitely an interesting show. If you follow Lunar Legends Tsukihime or Shingetsu-tan's Tsukihime or the Fate Stay Night, things like that, it's thought that this actually takes part within that world, that storyline. Kanon takes place in that. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a really cool show about a girl who uses a gun, basically. So kind of like some of the information on the back here. Colors have scent. Sound possesses images. In this future world where biochemical weapons have changed the game, an unlikely few have their senses blended. They are gifted with abilities beyond what normal humans feel. They possess synesthesia. This makes them the perfect assassin and a perfect target. Welcome to the new world. Welcome to the war. Head for the promised land of amazing animated action. Kanon. So that's kind of what it talks about here. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot to really say about it. It's been a long time since I've seen this show, but I enjoyed it, what I watched of it. So it was definitely cool to pick this up, and honestly, for $15, 13 episodes, this is really great find. I'm surprised a lot of times when I walk into a Fry's how cheap their anime selection is a lot of times. I mean, granted, they don't have old anime, as in old DVDs and whatnot, but they do have quite a bit of anime and quite a bit of older stuff that's been re-released thanks to Discotheque and whatnot, and it's definitely cool to pick up a lot of this stuff. So, and the prices are great. So, if you have a Fry's near you and you haven't checked out Fry's as a potential for buying anime, do it. Every time I've been to a Fry's, the anime's always been perfectly priced, for what I wanted to pick up. So I can't recommend that enough. So, okay, moving on to the next one. This next one here I got, from a sale, and it was definitely cool to finally pick this up. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Royal Space Force, the Wings of Honiamis. You remember? This was on my list of stuff to pick me up for Christmas. At least I'm pretty sure it was on my list to pick me up for Christmas. If not, it was also on the list probably of some of the greatest anime. Or not. I don't remember. Either way, though, this is a really cool show. This is the first movie that Gainax had a hand in. So that's, something there. Kind of some information here on the back. It's a 125-minute animated feature told in a fictional world where a couple of different, there's a couple of different kingdoms, and it basically centers around this one main character who is part of the Royal Space Force, and they're kind of like the laughing stock of the military. They are a military unit. But no one's been to space. It's kind of like the, you kind of see a world where it's kind of like being back in the late, in the 50s and 60s as far as space exploration or whatnot happen. There's not a lot of work happening in space. It doesn't seem like it's worthwhile. You're in a world where where spending money on the actual battlefield is considered the better choice versus, these ambitious projects. So it's definitely an interesting, cool show. I mean, some information on here: love, war, and the final frontier, an epic achievement in animation. Roger Ebert says, one of the most ambitious of all anime productions, a visually sensational 2-hour extravaganza. And I don't necessarily want to go too deep into, much more about the storyline or whatnot, but I've had a chance to watch this, and it's definitely a really cool show. If you see this on shelves, it's one I cannot recommend enough picking up. If you like Gainax work, this is definitely a nice one to pick up in order to see, what Gainax was like, when they were first starting out before, they got into more the current modern version of Gainax. Definitely interesting to see. Really cool story. Beautiful animation. Beautiful anime. Really awesome to pick up. That is The Wings of Honiamis, the Royal Space Force, or as some people like to affectionately call it, The Wings of Honey Mayonnaise, because a lot of people cannot pronounce Japanese. I just find it cute. Okay, next up on the list is the last Blu-ray in this collection. I do have one DVD to talk about today, in order to make things kind of even, I guess. And what I'm talking about Vampire Hunter D. This is the original movie, Vampire Hunter D. I'm not talking about Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, which was the second movie that came out back in the early 2000s, late 90s. This is the original cult classic. This is an 80-minute movie. It is TVMA. There's quite a bit of gore and other things in here. It's about vampires and demons and things like that. It follows, the art style and everything from this actually comes from Yoshitaka Amano, who did a lot of the character designs for Final Fantasy, a lot of the early Final Fantasies or whatnot. So you can kind of look and you can see that art style on that front cover and kind of give you a little bit of a view there. And it's a beautiful show. I mean, it definitely shows its age as far as the art style. I mean, Mano's art style is definitely unique and whatnot, and it's definitely cool. It's a really neat story about a main character who is known as D, who is a Dampshiel, I believe is how you pronounce the type of character, where he's basically a half vampire. If I remember right, that's what that means. And he goes around killing other vampires, so hence Vampire Hunter D. The good, the bad, and the undead. So this version here has been digitally remastered. It's full high definition on Blu-ray with digital DTS HD master audio. You've got Japanese and English audio as well as English subtitles. It's presented in 1080p. It is a 4:3 aspect ratio, so just let you guys know. This is definitely a cool show. Definitely interesting to pick up. I mean, if you're into vampires and the occult types of things, this is a really cool one to pick up. I can't recommend it enough. But again, kids, TVMA. There's a lot of violence and stuff in here, so just a fair warning. Know it when you pick it up, what you're getting. I love it. It's a really cool show. It's been quite a while since I've seen that movie, but it's definitely nice to pick it up. Okay, finally, we're down to the last one today, and this is a disc I picked up when I was recently at my local disc replay. It's one I'd been eyeing for a little while, and finally I decided to actually give in and buy it. And what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about Detatoko Princess. This is an Anime Works title. It is 90 minutes. I believe 90 minutes isn't a 3-episode OVA type of thing. And I don't know a whole lot about it, to be completely honest. It is definitely not one that I have seen before, but the art style and whatnot looked kind of interesting. I can't tell if it's actually traditional Japanese cell animation, but the character designs definitely look old school. So just kind of, here's a little bit of information here. Lapis is the princess of Sorcererland. She's beautiful, powerful, and has a sparkling personality. It's too bad that she's as dumb as a stump. She'll protect the most innocent of creatures, even if it means destroying the kingdom to do it. And let's not forget her obsession with pudding. She needs her pudding. She really needs her pudding. And God help you if you stand between her and her sweet custard dessert. Detatoko Princess is a laugh-out-loud lampoon of all the fantasy stereotypes you've come to love, with a generous double-heaping scoop of slapstick. So yeah, there you go. That's pretty much what this story is. Ready to serve in an instant. Again, I don't know a whole lot about it. I've not actually seen this one before, but it looked cool. This is an AnimeWorks title, presented in 4x3, 90 minutes. Comes in Japanese, English, and English subtitles. And that is Detatoko Princess. So it definitely looks cute. Looks kind of right up my alley as far as the character designs and all of that stuff goes, and it could very well be, be cell animated. I just don't know because, unfortunately, AnimeWorks is not very good about putting the original release notes and whatnot on their discs. So either way, though, cool show, and for a couple of bucks, I couldn't pass it up. So yeah, that brings us to the end of this selection. So those of you who are still hanging out with me, thank you for tuning in and watching me, talk about all of the cool Blu-rays and stuff I picked up over the last couple of months. We still have a few more episodes to go over, quite a bit more stuff to talk about. In fact, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. There's probably another 4, maybe 5 more of these coming down the road, so stay tuned for that. If you have any questions, any comments, let me know in the comments sections below. You can hit me up on Twitter, Tumblr, Facebook. All of the links to social media and all of that is going to be in the description below. And if this is your first time tuning in, I want to thank you for tuning in and listening to me. And if you like what you've seen so far and want to check out other stuff that I've done, please go ahead and hit one of these 2 videos to the left and right of me. One of them is going to be Volume 1 of this current series, and then another show for you to check out. And if you do like what I have and want to see more and whatnot, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button above my head. It's going to put you front row and center whenever I release something new, as it will show up in your YouTube subscriber feed, and I thank you for that. Go ahead and hit like, subscribe, all that cool stuff if you so desire. And I encourage you to take a few moments and take a look at my Patreon. Every bit of money that goes into the Patreon goes right back into this channel, not into my pockets, not into me to be able to buy all of this cool anime and things. I'm perfectly fine using my own dough to pick up all this stuff, but the money that you provide will go right back into getting new lights, cameras, set pieces, other equipment and things to help out the production of all of this stuff. So I encourage you to go take a look at that, and if you feel like donating, please do. I appreciate every single bit of it. And otherwise, just let it known. I just watching these videos is perfect enough for me either way. So thank you guys for all of that. And of course, I can't wait to see you guys next time. So this is Nate, the Old School Otaku, signing off. All right. Not seen this. I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that. I'm not seen that. I've seen this. I've seen this. I haven't seen this. Wow. Only 3 that I haven't seen. A whole bunch that I have. Unprecedented for one of my pickup videos. If I don't stop it, it's gonna hurt my eyes. What the? Part 2 down.